Mixed Country 106, the Bar Talk Happy Hour. Odie Coyote with you guys today. Welcome so much. So glad you're here with us today. And it is a special day here. Not only are we doing our live stream, but we also have Kelley Green, the bassist for The Great Divide, on with us today. I'm going to bring him on right now, just a second here. And we've had a day. We've definitely had a day. But Kelley, how are you doing? How's it going for you?
Doing good. Got good weather in Oklahoma finally. How's it going for y'all up there, Odie?
Oh, in Iowa, yeah, we got warm and it's all melting, pipes busting everywhere, but that's all right. I'll take the warm weather any chance I can get. I'm glad that things are going good out there in Oklahoma for you. And you, as
right
well
on.
as everyone else for The Great Divide, you guys have had a fantastic year, haven't you?
Yeah, it really has. We've been blessed this year with the new album and several of the singles. It's been really good.
Absolutely. Talking about, the single and everything, your latest one here went to number 5, right, on 2 of the major charts. And, I've been blown away by seeing it from your album Providence came out in 2022. You want to talk a little bit about how you guys have been kind of consistently being able to, pump out these awesome singles that you guys, this is the second one off that album, right?
Actually, it's the third. Yeah, we were fortunate enough. The first 2 both made it to number 1 on at least one of the charts. First single was "Good Side," and second was "Infinite Line." And this is "Set It All Down." We're on right now, and yeah, like you said, I think we're sitting at number 5 this past week.
Yeah, and
it's been amazing to not have put out an album in that long, and then to get that from our fans and the radio stations.
Absolutely. And you've been doing this forever. Everyone thinks that you guys, I keep hearing this in multiple interviews, and I'm not going to make the same mistake, but everyone thinks that you guys started, back in, 1995, but that's not true. Yes, in 1995, you guys actually released the album called Going for Broke, right?
That's correct.
But you actually started in 1992.
That is correct. We started playing together, the 4 original members, in 92. And it was late 94, I guess, maybe early 95 when we put out that very first album. We did our own. And then our second album we also put out on our own, which was Breaking the Storm, which is the one that Atlantic Records picked up and re-released.
Absolutely. That's just... You guys have been doing it for 29 years now. That's what's so incredible. What keeps the train moving for you guys?
Well, I don't know. You got to be with a group that you love. You got to have a brotherhood. You've got to believe in the music you're doing, which has always been a benefit of ours to have somebody like Mike McClure as our front man and our main songwriter. To have a guy like that just spitting out awesome songs all the time. And it gives you something to believe in and support going up and down the road instead of just, playing stuff that didn't come from within.
Yeah. And speaking of Mike McClure, I'm sad that we didn't get to talk with him. Y'all don't know this. We had a few little technical issues. We were going to have Bryce on the call with us as well, but unfortunately some of the technical things just didn't work out this time. So... But we will. I promise you guys at some point we will get this officially set up. If I got to come down to Oklahoma, I will. And we will make this happen.
Get us all in the same room.
Yeah, we'll book a conference room somewhere outside of a hotel or somewhere, or maybe we'll just go down to Texas. Maybe we'll figure out a back room and a honky tonk somewhere, and we'll all just get together. How about that?
Sounds like a good plan. Come on down.
I would love to. I was down in Austin this last August, and I got to go out and see a couple little groups out there. And our highlight, we saw Clint Black when he was out there at Round Rock, and it was really good. And the only downside about Texas was it was 111 degrees.
But yeah, it'll do that.
It'll do that. But I've been wanting to come out and see you guys. What we like to try to do here with Mix is, in Iowa, we don't have good country music. It is the Nashville sound. That's what we have on our radio. We have a lot of the things from the 90s and things like that too. But we're not getting your guys' sound in regular radio. So that's what we're trying to do here with Mix. is bring Texas to Iowa, if you will. And so I'm loving getting to go out there and make trips as best I can. A couple things I want to mention for you, you guys. As the band had single of the year last year for the TCMA. You guys have been doing really well. One of the things that I was reading from the bio on your guys' thing, and I wanted to see if you could touch on this. This is actually came from JJ. It's a quote from him, but I'm sure you guys kind of share the same sentiment. But he had wrote, back in the 90s, he said, quote, the whole talk about who was good, what was good country, music not, and, not like the line dancing stuff that was coming out of Nashville at the time, and he also says, he says, quote, we decided to try to save country music. Coming back into this after you guys, took some time apart from each other, I guess, what would you guys mean when you say you're trying to, save country music? What did you mean by that? Or what do you think he meant by that, or as a group?
Yeah, I can relate to that, and I think it was so much like when we first started trying to shop and get a record deal, even back in the the late '90s, people would ask us why we were doing that. Did we want to go be mainstream country music? Well, no, we were still playing our style of music with our songs, Mike's songs, but we wanted to be the group that did break out of Oklahoma and Texas doing their own thing, and get recognized for it and get national airplay and recognition for it. So I always said, kind of along the same lines as JJ mentioned in that answer, that we didn't want to become what mainstream country music was then. We wanted our music accepted into mainstream. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
Right. You're trying to change culture, right? Is that kind of the idea behind it?
Yeah. We're not trying to change who we are. We just, if somebody called our music mainstream, we wouldn't be upset. That just means that we got accepted on a bigger level.
I think I kind of understand what you're saying. So, and that's a unique perspective. I've interviewed quite a few people who've had this idea, and I know our time is limited, so I'll kind of be brief with this. But what I think is really good about what you guys are doing and the fact that you've been so successful is you guys haven't really changed your sound. I could probably go back and listen to the albums you're doing in the 90s and listen to Providence, and there's a lot of similarities. And there's a lot of,
and we've had a lot of people say that.
Yeah, but I think that's what's great.
Sure.
Don't change who you are just because the world around you changes necessarily. You adapt, but don't change who you are core. And one of the things I heard in a recent interview with you guys is one of the big things. You guys are a lot more sober now than you guys were probably in the early days. If you want to talk about that, like what's a show prep like for you guys now? I know you guys aren't doing 200 shows a year and all of that. I think on that interview you said you guys are doing like 30 or 40 a year or something close to that. What's the show prep like for you guys these days versus how it was when you're getting started?
Well, when we were getting started, even when we had signed Atlantic, we were still traveling with a skeleton crew. We did buy our own tour bus, and we carried a merch guy and a bus driver, but we still did a lot of it ourselves. We didn't have that many guys going down the road, so we had a lot more physically that each one of us band members did throughout the day and the night and the whole time. But yeah, we used to stay up and party a lot harder back then. Of course, we were a lot younger than we are now. After you've been doing it for 30 years, you get older and wiser, and those kind of evenings hurt a lot worse. Nowadays, we've got a guitar tech, merch guy, bus driver, full-time front house sound engineer. Is that it? And another roadie to just help pack gear, carry gear. We carry our own monitor system with us everywhere we go. But there's not really any set routine other than just getting set up, running through a sound check / short rehearsal, just to make sure everything's working right. And we all hang out on the bus together at least an hour before we go on, just listen to music. We might have a beer or two. Mike quit drinking completely quite a few years back. So yeah, it's not a huge party, but we just try to get together and, become a cohesive unit again. Get all our thoughts on the same plane and go through the set list, read through it, and that's about it. Go in and hit the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's pretty cool. I've seen a lot of your concerts. I mean, you're not trying to do the stadiums and the big arenas and all that. You're still doing Billy Bob's and everywhere else. And but what's cool is that you've gotten to a point where you got more people on payroll. You've got bigger responsibilities to handle. You're
Sure.
at a point where you got a lot of the people relying on you. It isn't just getting the tips off the pickle jar, so to speak.
Right.
Which is a good thing. I mean, in the terms of it means that you guys have established success. I mean, I saw your fan group page, thousands of people just in your fan group. That's incredible, and it's active.
Yeah.
Like every day, someone's posting something there. Which to me, when I'm looking at that, it just says that you guys have a lot of genuine followers. And I know we've been a supporter. You guys are one of the reasons that we got into getting out of the Nashville sound, so to speak, and going back into it. So, thank you. I can say,
awesome.
If we're looking back at 92, I was barely 3 years old in 92. So,
Yeah.
And now I got a kid.
Well, we thank you too.
Who's growing up and all that. But I'll go how.
Yeah, if we could get more stations to do like you are doing and step outside the mainstream and expose the people in different parts of the country to different musics from different areas geographically and this kind of deal, red dirt in Texas. It all helps us.
Yeah. Well, and you guys really are global. Like with us, we broadcast. We have listeners in 60 different countries. You guys, we have close to 100,000 website visits every single month, and we have thousands of listening hours every single month as well. So much that our hosting provider actually told us that we had to get a different content delivery network set up because it was just too much for what they were able to handle. And we just consider that as a testament to people love good music. And it doesn't really matter if you're Texas, Oklahoma, Iowa, Germany, Mexico. It doesn't really matter. Good music is good music, and people appreciate that. So, we're doing our best to put you guys on a global platform and expose you to our listeners. And, that's all we can really do. We're wrapping up here. I don't know if you have it in front. If you don't, I've got a few concerts that you guys have coming up. But if you've got them offhand and you want to share what you guys are doing and coming up on the road or coming up maybe in I don't know if you probably aren't ready for another album just yet, but if there's something you want to share along those lines, feel free to.
We've kind of been throwing it around that just recently started talking about when we might do another album. I think we will. We had so much fun doing Providence, and it had been so long since we had been in the studio together that we all really enjoyed the process. And as you pointed out, we've had great success with several of the songs off there already. But yeah, we're kind of throwing around ideas. There's nothing, we hadn't set a time frame for another album or anything. We're just now starting to talk about it. I don't have our tour dates in front of me. I know, let's see, the next show later here in 3 or 4 weeks is out in Abilene, Texas, the Outlaws and Legends Festival.
Yep.
No, wait a minute. Before that, we'll be down at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo opening. That's the next one. Yeah.
And then
I don't have my calendar in front of me.
That's okay. I did a little bit of prepping. I tried to. I didn't want to assume you guys would have it, but just in case you guys are anywhere near, the Texas area, the next 3 shows they got are out in Texas, out in Houston, coming up on the 24th, like you said. The TGD Live at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo World Barbecue Championships. That makes me hungry, wanting to go. And then you guys are going to be also performing at the Back Porch of Texas on March 30th in Abilene. And I am going to screw up the name of this town here, but I'll give it my best shot. Waxahachie, Texas.
That's pretty close.
If I butchered it, I am so sorry. But out on April 3rd.
Well, Sorry, but they're Texans, so it's Waxahachie.
Waxahachie. So I'm originally from Mississippi, but I've lived in Iowa the other half of my life. And when I went to broadcasting school, they kind of kicked it out of me a little bit for whatever Southern accent I still had left. You have to get me really pissed off to get me angry again and get that out. But so I apologize to the Texans out there. I've offended you, and I'm deeply sorry. Well, hopefully,
I'm sure they'll forgive you.
Hopefully they will too. Well, Kelley, I appreciate so much for your time today, and thank you for gracing us with your patience. And it's been great. Any final thoughts you want to share with everybody before we take off?
Man, I don't know. I mostly just want to thank you, Odie, for doing, like you said, what you do and helping get our music out to people that normally wouldn't hear it. Yeah, we've got shows coming up this year. Obviously, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska. Might get back into Colorado late in the summer. I can't really remember, but yeah, if you're out and around, check our schedule. Facebook, Instagram, check us out. Come see us. Please say hi if you do.
I believe it's tgdmusic.com, right? Website?
That is a website, yes.
Yeah, there you go. I thought I'd get that right. But you forgot something, though. You didn't say Iowa. You're not coming to Iowa?
Yeah.
I can come and see you.
I don't know that we have any shows booked in Iowa. So, maybe between you and us, we can get that figured out. It's been quite a few years since we played Iowa, so we need to remedy that.
Well, when you come up, I'll be front and center right there. I promise you, I will be there myself, and I know a lot of my friends and all that would absolutely come out and see you guys. So, well, thank you, Mr. Kelley Green,
awesome.
Bassist for The Great Divide. Thank you so much for your time, and again, thank you so much. And hey, you guys, we'll be right back with a whole lot more coming up on the Bar Talk Happy Hour on Mixed Country 106.